Hello students, welcome to Vijetha IAS Academy. In this session, we are going for the next unit, that is public or civil service values and ethics in public administration. That is the chapter beginning. The first topic which will come under this status and problems. When it comes to syllabus, this is the one, public or civil service values and ethics in public administration, status and problems. This is status and problems we are going to deal with in this session topic. So what is this? When it comes to public service values, what are the important public service values? And in the previous sessions also we are continuously keep on talking like human values, ethics, morality, and also aptitude, attitude, and various moral thinkers, emotional intelligence. While dealing with those topics also, we have come across these values. When we are entering into civil services, every civil servant is expected to follow certain values in the system, because there is a purpose, there is a sense of duty in that particular position. Responsibility will be there, accountability should be there. Whatever work, whatever duty that is given to civil servant, they must be done with openly, transparently, so that the work culture is going to be in a positive atmosphere. But ultimately, what is the purpose of civil services in the country? It is for the upliftment of the people, welfare of the people. And we have seen different philosophers also like Kautilya or Chanakya. Every king should think about welfare of every section of the people. So that is the ultimate aim. When a civil servant enters into the office, the main duty is to serve the people. Serving means whatever duty that is allocated, it must be done with utmost care. And these are some of the values which are required and expected from the civil services in the country. In India, we have central service also, state services also, all India services also. Ultimately, whatever position you are there, in wherever location you are there, the conditions are almost similar across India. That's what Indian culture, Indianness is all about. Everywhere you will find the same diversity, multiple languages you will find, multiple religions you will find, different castes you will find, gender disparity is there, some are poor, some are rich, some are literate, some are illiterate. Nowadays, new illiteracy is coming as a digital illiteracy. Some are digitally highly literate, some are illiterate. Some are plain region, some are hilly terrain. Different customs, traditions will be there depending on their geographic location. This is how each and every civil servant undergo these kind of issues. Depending on the nature of the job, some of these will come across different perspectives. But generally, whatever position, wherever you are, certain values are fundamental core to every position. Service to the public. Whether you are in Northeast Assam, Nagaland, Manipur, or in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, or in Jammu and Kashmir, the core element of civil service is to serve the public. That is what ultimately we are aiming for, service to the public. Public servants are dedicated to meeting the needs and interests of the public by providing high quality services and working to improve citizens' lives. Suppose if you are in Bombay, you are serving. You may be serving in a bank position. You may be serving in a SEBI position. You may be serving with respect to markets also. You may be serving in different departments with respect to financial sector. Now, when you are there, the ultimate aim of that particular job is to serve dedicatedly to meet the interest of the people. Personal interests are different, the public interest is different. Suppose a person enters into office with respect to financial services, the same person may have different company also. Now, if the same person becomes a SEBI head of the SEBI department or one of the important positions in SEBI, which is looking after the financial markets and the markets, the capital markets, stock markets. Now, personally they have companies as a duty, as a professional duty, they are also holding the information which is supposed to promote the companies across India. But he is also one of the company, or she is also one of the members of these holders of the company. Personal interest is also there, and at the same time duty also to ensure development of all the companies. Will you develop your own company by getting the information, insider information? Obviously, when you are in the duty, you will come to know the information, what kind of directions SEBI is going to give in advance, and will you pass that information to your company officials? That is how, when it comes to civil servants and SEBI, that is one example. Recently it is going on, that's why I have given this example. Suppose if you are having some kind of hospitals and you are the one who is managing some health related scheme, health insurance scheme. Now, when you are empaneling different kind of hospitals, you personally have an hospital, and even though eligibility will not be there under the scheme, will you include your hospital also in that scheme? That is one kind of example. Here it is not the personal interest that matters. Every person may have their own personal assets also, personal companies also, personal friends, relatives. But when you are sitting in the public duty, you have to think not from the perspective of the personal life, but from the perspective of the public at large. You have to think about India's development, not the personal development. That is service to the public. Integrity. This is where integrity will come. They must act with honesty, transparency and accountability, ensuring fairness in all aspects of their work. Suppose if there is a information, and if you are hiding that information to help only your company, then that is not honest. If you are supposed to maintain secrecy, that means you have to maintain secrecy from every other aspect, including your company also. But you will leak the secrets to your company so that your company will come to know information in advance, while rest of the companies are in disadvantaged position. That is not honesty, that is not transparent. The law should be applied to everybody. If secrecy should be maintained, that should be maintained. It should not be shared with anybody. If there is any decision that should be communicated openly, that must be openly declared so that everyone will know that. If information is not having similar kind of information with everyone, then obviously those who get information early, they will get the benefits of the scheme, and some people will not get the benefit. So this is what scams and all as emerging from this kind of behavior. Impartiality. Decision making should be objective and free from personal or political bias, treating all citizens equally. Suppose when you are allocating houses, there is a scheme. According to that scheme, houses will be constructed to all sections of the people. In a village, there are poor people who are in needy. People do not have the houses, and they need the help of the government as part of the housing scheme to get constructed. Now you have to, when you are eligible officer to allocate the plots, allocate the houses, civil servant must take care of the eligibility criteria as the only mechanism who is going to get the houses. Otherwise, a particular party, the party in power, some MLA may come, any other person who belongs to the current government may come and pressurize civil servant that these houses first must go to these party members. Even though some of them may be eligible, some of them may not be eligible. Despite that, the civil servants are forced to follow that order. When it comes to impartiality, you should not show that kind of partiality, should function impartially, irrespective of the pressure. That is where emotional intelligence is all about. Pressures will be keep coming. Pressures will be coming from senior officers also. Pressures will be coming from political leaders also. Pressures will be coming from different sections of the quarters, from same relatives also, same family members also, friends also, whatever could be the pressure. That is where civil servant should have emotional intelligence, how to handle all these issues, keeping aside and sticking to the core civil service values, that is impartiality. All these emotions keep aside, stick to the objectivity, stick to impartiality, then only you can truly stick to the service to the public principle. Otherwise, it will enter into personal interest. Reason could be anything. Reason could be to help your own close circle, or reason could be because of fear. That could be, that decision could be taken. But without fear, fair and transparent manner, it has to be taken. If election commission is there, when elections are happened, then elections should happen in fair and free and fair transparent manner. If money is being circulated on a large scale, corruption is happening in the elections, then if there are any raids from the election commission or income tax department or enforcement department or CBI, if something is happening with respect to this unearthing the black money, that should be applied to all sections of the people, including the party in power also, the party in opposition also. A civil servant must, if there is a decision, that decision should be taken purely based on objectivity and impartiality. That is where, that is one of the core elements. Otherwise, the people who are in power will get advantage, the people who are in opposition, they will not get advantage, or they expect only fair and transparent manner. People will not worry whether success or failure comes, but game must be very fair and transparent. If the game is fair and transparent, the people who are participating in the game get satisfaction that they have given their best, and if they win, they celebrate. If they lose also, still they get confidence that they are almost winning. Now once again they will work hard to win the next game. Otherwise, the interest in the game loses. That means the interest in the elections loses. Once people break the trust on the system, then it becomes very difficult to set right again the system. Once the system breaks, then every department will start collapsing. Education department will collapse, health department will collapse, infrastructure department will collapse, business will collapse, employment will collapse, then the army, the efficiency of the army will collapse, then technological progress will collapse, then if every system collapse, then continuously people will keep on fighting each other. Overall, who will be at the losing end at the end? That is, the country will be at the losing end. Meanwhile, the neighbors will try to attack India. Some other person may come and try to take advantage of the disputes. And in fact, it is not something new, something not hypothetical, which is imagination. That same thing was done during the British time period. That is how British could rule India for 200 years. That's why multiple times whenever people come and rule India, this is the same thing that is what going to happen. That starts from, it appears one single person's act may not appear that a great result, but each and every individual must follow the similar principles. That's why core civil service principles, then only after some time at the overall picture the benefits will be visible. Professionalism, purely professionalism must be followed. It should not be adapt whatever people will think arbitrarily, and whenever sudden mood comes they take the decision. It should not be like that. A senior must think rationally according to the profession, very systematically. The decision making process should be very systematic. The implementation mechanism should be systematic. It should not be very random in nature. It should not be very random, like suppose if we take in our preparation also, if systematic preparation is there, it becomes easy to prepare very fastly, learn very fastly, and crack this examination very fastly. If it is very random in nature, today one book we will read, and after 1 hour suddenly mood changes, second book will take, and after 1 hour changes another subject, then you cannot consolidate the outcomes. You are working, no one will question the work of the particular student. 24 hours students are working, but when it comes to the outcome, very randomly the outcome cannot be gelled together, and as a result outcome will not come in a concrete manner. Hard work is happening, but when it comes to result, it will not come into the output format. In order to avoid that professionalism, so in the Indian context, civil services, every year budget is happening. Every year, almost every department is getting some schemes, and every department is getting funds. And despite that, India is still in backward conditions when it comes to health indicators, education indicators, then employment indicators, infrastructure indicators, ease of business doing indicators. That is where if there is no professionalism, the outcome also get affected because of that. Public servants should be competent and committed to their work, upholding professional standards and engaging in continuous learning. So professionalism is very, very important. That should be very systematic also. Continuous learning should be there. And once people follow this professionalism in a well organized, systematic manner, outcomes also will be very good. India's economic progress will be there, scientific progress will be there, developmental progress will be there, and regional development. Today, some states are very poor, some states are rich, and within a state also, some regions are very poor, some regions are very rich. That imbalanced regional development also can be addressed if civil servants follow professionalism. This professionalism must be followed in each and every department. It could be finance department, it could be military department, it could be foreign department, it could be postal department, it could be anything, whether small or big. Every department matters in the country, every work is important, and if the people does very professionally in wherever positions they are there, and they are going to bring change in that particular segment. Respect for diversity, valuing and respecting the diversity of communities, including differences in race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, religion and other characteristics is crucial. Since the beginning of sessions, since the beginning of ethics classes, we are continuously discussing that India is a very diverse country. People should not discriminate based on any kind of identities. All must be taken care. Respect for the diversity, respect the religions, respect the minorities and respect the majorities. Whatever identity you are holding, you have to respect other identities as well. Then only people will not fight in the name of differences. Diversity is beauty if we understand and respect the diversity. Otherwise, diversity becomes a hindrance. It will generate differences and people will start abusing and fighting with each other. Again, ultimately, who is at the losing end? India overall will be at the losing end. Responsibility, they must take ownership of their actions and decisions, being accountable to the public. If people are very honest in taking the decisions, if something goes wrong, if something goes correct, they take the responsibility. Suppose if they are not honest in their work, for the personal interest, if they take some kind of professional decision, then they cannot take the responsibility openly, because they clearly know that they have used the professional power for the private interest. Now that conflict of interest involves, when that conflict of interest involves, people will not openly say that I have taken the decision openly. Confidently they will not say. That should happen. Responsibility, when people take responsibility, not to blame others. Blaming others, there will be different fears, that there could be promotional fears. People may not be promoted if something goes wrong. People may not be respected if something goes wrong. Because of this, people will not take full responsibility, and as a result, even decision making also sometimes get delayed for so many months and years also. Responsibility must be taken for the works they are taking. Then if everybody takes, automatically people will be working very professionally also. People can function very efficiently. Transparency, when somebody is asking about RTI application, then what happened to the funds in a particular scheme, if question comes from the public. If there is no kind of embezzlement or if there is no corruption involved in that scheme, then civil servants have no problem in giving the full details. If some corruption involved, if some diversion of the funds involved, whatever could be the reason, that could be at personal level of the civil servant, or it could be because of the political pressure, it could be pressure of somebody, some other quarters, then people will not be transparent in giving the details about that particular scheme. They will try to hide those details. Open and transparent decision making process are essential with the information about government policies and decisions made available to the public. So that's why otherwise if people do not believe in the decision making process of the government, sometime it will lead to violence. When government bring a law that giving citizenship to some people, removing citizenship for some people, then people do not know on what basis this criteria is being followed. If government is not open, not transparent, people will start suspecting it. If there is any corruption involvement of any minister, if people are asking what should be the truth, if government is not taking any responsibility, if not government is not taking any kind of step to show that no corruption is involved in the government, then people will start not trusting, people will start disbelieving the government's actions. That will result chain reaction, and even if they are taking good decisions in certain areas, people will still do not trust the government. That's why transparency should be there. Even if something goes wrong, if people know about the decision, if people know that based on this logic this decision was taken, based on these merits decisions were taken, even if failure happens, people are ready to accept the failures. People are ready to pardon the decision maker. Otherwise, if people are not knowing any kind of decision making, one day people will revolt against the system, because transparency is there means openness, transparency will make corrupt free country. If there is a hidden truth, if there is no transparency, if there is lack of transparency, then all illegal activities and dishonest activities will start in the, if there is no transparency. Core ethical principles. So some of the core principles we have seen, some more core ethical principles. These are core ethical like fairness and impartiality, confidentiality, some more. It should be confidential, loyal, objectivity, conflict of interest management. These principles collectively ensure that public servants maintain high ethical standards and promoting trust, integrity, effective governance in their roles serving the public. Whatever role you are in, you may be in finance department, you may be in medical department, you may be in defense department, you may be in space department, you may be in nuclear department. Whatever may be the department you are in, everywhere these core principles will enable those departments function very effectively. Suppose if you are in cyber security department, people must be very professional, understanding what is going on in the current trends. Otherwise, tomorrow there will be sudden cyber attack, then later we will come to know that the people who are working in the cyber security department are not functioning professionally, are not functioning openly, transparently. People are not upgrading their skills also. People are not utilizing the funds effectively. There is a corruption in the kinds of equipments and training, proper training is not given to the cyber security experts because there is no lack of fund. Even budget allocated funds, the funds were diverted to some other purpose. So overall, now cyber security attacks takes place, then country will realize that in this department something has happened. When a aeroplane was hijacked, then there will be some certain kinds of issues, and from there we have to learn lessons, what could be wrong and what could be the solutions, and some of the solutions are following these principles. So everywhere money is one thing, but there are other principles. By following those principles, money and economic growth and budgets also will increase. Indians will get the capability to earn more so that they can allocate more funds. And presently, what is the status and problems? Simply, these principles are not being followed in the civil service, and that is the problem. That is the status, present status of civil service, and as a result, some problems are emerging. Corruption, that is the one of the core problem of the country. India is also like that. Many developing countries are facing like this. Even corruption is there in developed countries also, but particularly in developing countries like India, corruption affects people a lot, because there are 100 villages. If the 100 villages are having only one hospital, if government allocated budget to create 10 more hospitals, then you can imagine the kind of health indicators in that region, the kind of healthy individuals in that region. If people are healthy, it's same in a family. If people are healthy, then savings will be more, economic growth will be there, unnecessary wastage of health problem and unnecessary wastage of expenditure will not be there. Then people will save and people will invest in the market. And same goes, if 100 villages are there, if 10 hospitals are there, then automatically the people will be very healthy in that region. Then when the people are very healthy, then they will contribute for the progress of the country. They will participate in agriculture activities, artisan activities, industrial activities, trading activities. Children will go to the schools and innovation will flourish. If because of the corruption there is only one hospital, then that hospital is also not functioning properly. Then if some diseases will come, if the health crisis comes in that particular region, then it affects majority sections of the people. When majority sections of the people are got affected, then automatically same reverse. People cannot participate in healthy atmosphere, agriculture get affected, industrial activities get affected, trading activities will get affected, and overall growth of those 100 villages get affected. This is only one example of health. So because of the corruption, now you can see what is the national loss. National loss, the kind of amount of budget that is allocated for creation of the hospitals, it may be 10 crore or 20 crore. It is not the loss. 20 crore is not the loss for the country. It is the future potential of the country itself is completely in danger. That's why this is one of the core issue, and same goes to education system also. Education department, suppose if there is a 100 crore scam, country's loss is not 100 crore, but what this 100 crore is going to achieve, that is also at stake. That means you are killing the future's potential, India's future potential, in the form of if these 100 crores are spent on quality education, and whatever benefits India is going to get through this quality education, we are going to kill that quality education. It's not 100 crores loss, it is much more than that. The corruption, this is how once corruption in one point, that is how as a chain reaction it is going to affect in different parts. This remains one of the biggest ethical issues, manifesting as a bribery, theft, nepotism. It erodes public trust, leads to misallocation of resources, and creates inequalities. Paper leakage, corruption in NEET examination, civil service examination, these are some of the examples. If examination should be conducted in open and fair, transparent manner, then quality people will enter into the civil service. If quality people enter into the civil service, then automatically professionalism will be there, the talent pool will be there, whatever may be the goal that is set by the top leadership, that will be achieved very fastly. And when the fair and transparent manner examination is conducted, then there is no fear of anybody. Even an employee enters into the office with bravely and without having any kind of motives, ulterior motives, without having any kind of stain in their hands, they will enter into the system, and from the first day one onwards, their only focus is on how to contribute for the country. Whatever duty they are given, to utmost sincerity they will try to do. But if they enter into the system with wrong methods, corrupt methods, then the day one onwards, their aim, their mentality, and also their majority, their emotions will go to the what will happen if this is going to be exposed. Then in whatever position they are in, this will continuously haunt till the end of their career. That what will happen if somebody open up, if somebody cover up this particular scam. So people cannot openly, transparently, bravely cannot function when there is corruption. This is another example. So you are not utilizing full potential, you are not giving an opportunity for the right people, by recruiting incorrect people, and even their potential is also not fully utilized in the system because of so many emotional issues. Corruption in giving licenses, in scholarship, allocating land for industries, in hiding the evidence in criminal cases. So, these are the various examples when it comes to corruption. This is one important challenge and problem that India is facing, that is because of lack of ethics and morals in the administrative system. Conflict of interest arise when public servants' personal interest clash with their professional responsibilities. This can compromise impartial decision making. Personal company receives benefits from markets and banks while in important powerful positions. A minister is there. Minister may have sons, daughters. They also will be running different companies. If that minister is corporate affairs minister, then they are the one who is taking the decision. And if they leak the information to the sons and daughters, then automatically they will change, and in the market they will get more advantage, and it will affect the larger sections of the companies. Then it is not a fair game. Wealth accumulation will take place, and one part of wealth will be accumulated in one section of the people. Wealth will not be distributed. If wealth will not be distributed, how many employment opportunities one section of the companies will promote, and only what kind of diverse employment opportunities one company will provide. If the benefits are distributed to different companies, then this company will have some kind of working style. Some employees will enter there. Another company also will provide different kind of products and services, and it will generate new skills in the market also. People will enter into that kind of employment also. Like that, if diverse companies are able to flourish, then diverse employments are also generated, diverse skills are produced. When it comes to country requires all skill sets. If country wants to progress, means country has to develop in all sectors and all arena. That happens only if people are skilled in all multiple sectors. If there is only one section of the private companies, because of the corruption, because of the information that is leaking, conflict of interest, then only one section of the companies and one type of companies will flourish. People who have the qualities in that particular companies will get employment. And what about the other? When education system is there, people are studying engineering also, people are studying doctors, medicine also, people are studying so many humanities also, and each and everything is a skill. But when it comes to economy should be able to absorb these variety of skills. Then only different humanities, different subjects, different academic knowledge will grow. Only when academic knowledge grow in the country, it will benefit. Otherwise, if it is monotonous, if all students are engineers, if all students are humanities, then country overall will get affected. When other countries are moving forward, we will not move forward, we will go backward. And we will not catch the latest trends. And meanwhile, overall, you just simply, like you just imagine and just remember what happened during British time period. British, when other world is science and technology wise, they were progressing, but we were believing in caste system, religion, superstitions. When that was the condition, science got affected, technology got affected. Now somebody came and started telling that you are backward, we came here to bring you forward. And ultimately, what is the result? We became the slaves of some other so-called civilized society. That should not happen once again. That means we should be alert. We should encourage the skills in every department. We should encourage all types of knowledge. If that to happen, this conflict of interest should be there. Education ministry is there. Education minister will have so many educational institutions, and benefits will go to that only. Health ministry will be there. So many hospitals, benefits will go to their hospitals. Industrial department, many industries, benefits will go there. That's what conflict of interest. Professionally, you are supposed to think about each and every hospital, each and every schools, each and every industrial, each and every political party. But when it comes to personal interest and conflict of interest, it will create corruption in the decision making. And decision making also will not be open. Naturally, when something is not going correct, people will not share openly with others. People will not openly get the feedback what is the right method, because everything is going not according to the open transparent manner, then obviously the best suggestions also will not come to that particular decision. Conflict of interest. Then ethical dilemmas. One of the ethical dilemmas like personally you want to follow honest, integrity, openly transparent manner, but your senior may not give you encouragement, and your senior will get pressures from the political department or political parties or political boss. Then ethical dilemma will, personally you are not supposed to do your work, but as the direction given by the senior you are supposed to function. If you function, if you perform the duty that goes against your personal values, ethical dilemmas, it is one of the major crises that is happening. Even though when young generation is coming with ideals, everyone do not want to undermine country's progress, everyone wants to contribute for the progress. But when a person joins civil service with a lot of motives, lot of ideals that they want to contribute for the country, they want to be very honest, very sincere and professional in their duty. But once they enter into the system, lot of conflicts. The person is expected to do some certain kinds of works by the seniors also, and those seniors will be in a ethical dilemma position by their seniors, and their seniors were in the conflict ethical dilemma because they were pressurized by the other political. And if it is not that only political parties are pressurizing, even a political member also, a minister is there. If a minister wants to work very honestly, very transparent, open manner, but the party which that person is joined, the party structure may not be like that. So it is where it's like a chain. It's like a chain. Everywhere these issues are emerging, and whatever the ethical dilemmas are there, they are hindering the progress of the country, and the decision making gets delayed. And if the ethical dilemmas are coming, the civil servant, if they are not able to openly do the tasks, then they will try to delay as far as possible. Now, if you delay in giving the funds to the schemes, if there is a corruption in the scheme is supposed to release the funds. Many students are waiting for the funds from that scheme. Because of ethical dilemma, the funds will not be released in that scheme. And what about the people who are waiting for that scheme? And you are wasting the time of the potential future talents. So this is how decision making will not take place, decisions gets delayed, and overall country progress will be hindered. Public servants often face situations where different ethical principles or loyalties are in conflict, facing difficult choices. Balancing political power and accountability, delays in prosecuting corruption versus due process. These are some of the examples in ethical dilemmas. Like honestly, you want to prosecute a particular case, a corruption case is there. You unearthed a case and you want to prosecute and give the punishment to the culprits. But the people who committed crime, they have the different connections, political connections, and the pressure will come. Then even though honestly you want to solve this case, but you will be pressurized from different quarters. Ethical dilemma, how to proceed, whether to drop. If you drop it, you are not happy. If you don't drop, you are getting the pressure. Ethical dilemma. Balancing rapid vaccine development with proper trial protocols. This is how, when it comes to Corona time period, Corona was affecting, it was spreading like anything. Immediately some vaccination should be given. When it comes to vaccination means once a vaccine is developed, proper trials must be given. But if you are in the civil servant duty, then on one hand people losing the lives because of lack of vaccine. On the other hand, a vaccine came, but this vaccine is yet to undergo lot of trials. Unless all the trials successfully pass, then only we have to release to the public. But here pressure will come. If you don't release the vaccine, already people are dying, and already initial results are coming positively. The vaccine can be used, but still you are not satisfied that trials did not go fully 100%. Will you wait till the time all trials are done? or immediately will you release to the public the vaccination drive? If the initial trials, if the vaccine is successful, then people can get the benefit of the vaccination. Otherwise, if that fails, then the person who have given the permission to allow this vaccine to the public then is in danger, and also public lives are in danger. Ethical dilemma, whether to release vaccination very fastly or whether to wait till all the trials are happened correctly or not. Dilemma, again, that is another issue. Personal freedom versus protecting vulnerable individuals from harm, online gaming regulations. Online gaming regulation, one example, whether you give, it is a personal freedom, it is up to the people, whoever they want to play, whatever they want to play, let them play, that is freedom of the person. You should not curtail that freedom. But on the other hand, in the name of gaming, in the name of freedom, if you allow gaming without gaming regulations, online betting, then many people will lose the money, and ultimately if they lose the money and if they are not having employment, again they are going to depend on the public only. Again they are going to depend on the public exchequer. Government requires special funds, unemployment funds for them. Government requires special poverty alleviation programs for them. That's why whatever savings are there, without regulating, if you allow in the name of freedom, then it is going to affect other people also. Then once the savings are lost, then everything it affects. It affects their health, it affects their education, it affects their skills, it affects their family relations, many things. Then who will take the responsibility of all this? And a civil servant who is giving permission for this online gaming without regulation, if you regulate, you are curtailing the freedom of some individuals. If you don't regulate, you are going to harm different sections of the people. Ethical dilemma. These are the challenges which are emerging in the present trends. Examples and so on. Lack of transparency. When more amount of corruption is involved, when multiple conflicts are involved, when personal interests are involved in the professional duty, transparency also will not be there. This lack of transparency is creating more corruption. If already corrupt, then if there is no transparency, then that corrupt practices will never come out, and it will embolden the people to indulge in more corrupt practices. That's how lack of transparency is another issue. Insufficient accountability. People are not ready to take accountability, and also there is no correct mechanism to ensure accountability. Without proper checks and balances, public servants may not be held responsible for the action, potentially leading to abuse of power. People will abuse the power if there is no accountability mechanism. If there is no punishment mechanism for the abusing of power, then automatically people will take decisions which will harm larger sections of the people. That's what insufficient accountability. Ethical lapses, lack of understanding or awareness. The civil servants themselves do not know what is correct, what is wrong. So what is correct and what is wrong, if people themselves don't know, it is like equal to child. A child will commit all kinds of sorts at the home, then they don't know whether the particular act, whatever they are doing, they will talk anything, they will speak anything, they will walk anywhere, they will play anywhere, and they will keep anything in the mouth, and they spit anywhere. So they don't know whether that is right or wrong also. Then if civil servants also don't know these ethical values, then everywhere they are in dilemma whether to follow or not follow. They also don't know whether to follow it or not. If senior has given direction, they also don't know that whether it is ethical or unethical also. Then without knowing consequences, they just follow the order, and after following the order, later they will realize that they will not have any kind of personal interest, they will not have any kind of corrupt motives, but despite that, because of their decision, a huge scam may take place. That's what ethical lapses. That's where people should have some kind of idea that what is happening in the system, what is right and what is not right. This is another major challenge when it comes to present day public service. Mechanized life, people mechanically going, doing work and coming without having any kind of passion towards it, without having any interest because of it, just like a robot going, whatever orders are coming, just doing and coming. and it will not create much interest in the civil service, and people will feel there is nothing special in that, and also innovation will not come in that particular environment. Once innovation will not come, then after 10 years, 20 years, automatically the quality of civil service or quality of duty will come down, because people will not upgrade. In 2024, society is in this way. After 2034, after 10 years, society will change a lot. But if in mechanical life, people are not motivated enough to learn the new things, then automatically after 10 years, the civil servants will get outdated, and it becomes very difficult once again to cope up with the situation. So that's what civil servants often lead hectic, materialistic lives, neglecting self-growth and personal development. This can lead to lack of ethical awareness. Potential solution like awareness camps, training camps, these are various solutions. But overall, mechanical life, without thinking much beyond certain basic elements, basic survival elements, it will lead to mechanical life. And overall, initially when they are preparing and entering into the civil service, they are having very good ideals, they are very much enthusiastic to do something. But once they enter into system, if the system is very mechanical, then they also will become like robot. They will not be able to think beyond certain level. That difference will come after 5 years or 10 years, and the people who are updating, they will be, their thinking procedure is, their thinking abilities are more. The people who are following mechanical life, their thinking ability will go down. Civil service selection process, the kind of service like in the selection process also, when it comes to examination will not select the students by understanding from all the directions. Only examination process will try to deal with the knowledge part. Whoever is having knowledge, they will enter into the system. But it cannot deal whether ethically and problem solving and some other angles, whether people are having the aptitude or not. So that is also, that needs to be upgraded frequently according to the changing trends. Training inadequacies, if there is no training frequently, if there is no awareness camps regularly, then people mechanically, they will be doing whatever they were doing without upgrading the skills. So this is also one of the issues presently it is going on. Performance evaluation, proper performance evaluation, on what basis you are evaluating the performance of a civil servant? Is it just like a number of years, seniority basis? Just a person is there in civil service for 10 years, that itself is the eligibility to get promoted? Or in the last 10 years, what is the progress? Have they anything successfully done, or simply without doing anything, just 10 years passed? But when it comes to performance evaluation, on what basis the quality of a civil servant is calculated? Is it because of the number of employees they created, employment created, the number of hospitals they created, the number of industries they brought, and amount of money they saved, amount of forex reserves they increased? But that is not a single person job, it is an entire departmental job. How can we calculate, evaluate a person's evaluation, performance of a particular person? So this still, according to the latest trends, that performance evaluation should be done. But that is still in the evaluation process, we are not able to really understand and evaluate the existing civil servants' performance. This is one of the challenge. Not citizen friendly, and some more issues. Not citizen friendly, lack of professionalism, unable to meet targets, groups in civil service, even in civil service also, religion groups, region groups, caste groups, that kind of even today also it is there. That itself is a hindrance to the progress of the country. So these are new challenges have emerged due to factors like growing number of people, hybrid work environment, like working at home also, working in office also, new set of challenges, and prevalence of social media. When social media is there, then it will influence, it will be beneficial also, it will be diverting the attention also. The civil servants who are working, and they may be get diverted because of the social media also. It may influence the working nature of civil servants also. Prejudices it may create. There are other issues also related to social media. So these are various issues with respect to status and problems of civil services. So in this session, we started a new chapter. we have dealt with status and problems of civil service or public service. In next session, we will continue with next topic. Thank you.